Ladies and gentlemen, the game changer is almost here. The return is almost there. We can smell it. We can feel it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be huge for us. Nkunku news, plenty of Nkunku news that we want to go through. Overall, there's three big news that we want to touch base on. So let's go. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, Christopher Nkunku, the return is seemingly imminent at the moment. That's what the reports are saying, especially from Fabrizio Romano, which is great news for me. This is a massive game changer, man. As long as we can, keep picking up points, lose the least amount of points over the next few fixtures. Look, fantastic job by the Chelsea team to get the 3 points against Spurs. Now we meet Manchester City at home at Stamford Bridge. I thought it was actually away. So thank you for people correcting me in my last stream. It's at home at Stamford Bridge. So we've got to give ourselves some chance to at least get a draw. If not, let's see if we can nick a victory. We'll see what happens. And if we keep going in this momentum, straight after the Man City match, it's the international break. And the word is Christopher Nkunku could return back after the international match, after the international break, and most probably could be on the bench, against Newcastle, which is sensational. Keep the damage as limited as possible before Nkunku comes in, and then hopefully after that, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive game changer for us. Christopher Nkunku, creativity, hopefully the finishing as well that we are lacking at the moment. Overall, this guy is going to uplift Chelsea as a team, give the fan base that morale boost that we so desperately need, and hopefully brings back a lot of consistency for us. He's a flair player. He's a charismatic character. This is an important news for us. Let's check out the news. Fabrizio Romano earlier on today. Understand Chelsea decision is to take no risk with Christopher Nkunku's comeback. It's not expected to happen this weekend versus Manchester City. CFC still planning with Nkunku back after the next international break. I didn't know he was so advanced in his recovery. I'm so glad. There was news when he first got injured that he was potentially going to be coming back around January. The fact that we could have him back after the international break is fantastic news. Next up, Fabrizio Romano continues to say, following up on today's update about Christopher Nkunku, Chelsea plan having him back at the beginning of December. Almost there. Huge player for us. We've missed him, absolutely thoroughly missed him. Pochettino has not made it a secret at all in the press conference. Wherever Pochettino gets an opportunity to drop Christopher Nkunku's name to say that this has been a huge miss for us, he does say it. Look, I'm not going to lie. He has been a huge miss for us. My only thing is we should find ways to win without him as well. But with him in the team, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see where this guy takes us and where he takes the rest of the team as well. In the preseason, for me, he was absolutely electric before he got injured. Ben Jacobs goes on to say, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea confirmed Christopher Nkunku is upping his recovery. He's back on the bike and is expected back after the international break. Maurizio Pochettino has previously said he's making fast progress and termed a return to the squad against Newcastle on November 25th as a maybe. I love this. It will be, as I said, it will be fantastic if we can just keep picking up the points or keep the damage to a limitation before Nkunku comes in. And hopefully once Nkunku comes in, I know the pressure, don't want to put too much pressure on him, but I'm hoping the trajectory will go upward. So this is fantastic news, ladies and gentlemen, that Christopher Nkunku's return is imminent. And I cannot wait. I simply cannot wait. Let me know in the comment section how excited you guys are feeling. Are you upbeat? Do you think he's going to play a huge role in changing our fortunes around in this particular season so far? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, lots of controversy happening around this particular news. As you all know, Emma Hayes has left the Chelsea women's managerial role to take up a managerial role in the lucrative opportunity with the US women's team. Look, I'm sorry that I don't follow enough of women's football. It's just I don't have enough time to follow everything with the limited time that I get. Following Chelsea men's team is quite tough enough. But if you're unaware, Emma Hayes, who's been unbelievable, phenomenal for the women's team, who have achieved so much under Emma Hayes, has finally left. And there seems to be some controversy around this, that apparently, the hierarchy, Chelsea hierarchy in terms of the ownership, are a bit unhappy that we have not been able to tie down Emma Hayes, and all blame is apparently going to Paul Winstanley. So I want to touch base on this. Check this out. Co-sporting director Paul Winstanley is facing questions from Chelsea's owners after failing to agree a new contract with Emma Hayes. Hayes indicated a desire to stay at Chelsea for the rest of her career, but negotiations were put on hold due to Winstanley focusing on other issues. This is breaking news coming from Mail Sport. And it further, there's been a lot of other talks since then that, look, Emma Hayes took up this particular job because, the US women's team, you just don't say no to that. That is probably the most lucrative position you can get in the women's, footballing side of things. So as much as Emma Hayes probably wanted to stay at Chelsea and finish her career at Chelsea, but when US women's national team come knocking on your door, you can't say no to that. So there's a lot of talks happening on social media whether Paul Winstanley is really to be blamed or Emma Hayes just found a better opportunity that she needed to go. Look, I find it very, very difficult to have these sort of news come out in the open where our owners, don't forget, our owners are American owners as well. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably wished Emma Hayes good luck for the US women's team. But so much blame now coming against Paul Winstanley. Everyone's saying that he almost screwed up the Caicedo deal. For me, I think he was trying to look after the club and get a good deal for Caicedo. A lot of people blaming him that he almost screwed up. If anything, Liverpool came out of nowhere, went over the top, and Brighton always wanted more than 100 million anyway. And, to be honest, I don't know whether I can blame Paul Winstanley so much. So this is a story that's floating around. And Rob, if you guys know, he's got some inside details as well. And this is a very good take from Rob, where he's saying, amazing to see that journalists that have no interest in the Chelsea FC women suddenly have exclusives when they can spring a negative story. I absolutely like this call. You don't hear any of these journalists, especially this brother over here, Matt Hughes, talk about the Chelsea women's team. And all of a sudden, he now has an exclusive stating that Paul Winstanley is the one who screwed up. And the other factor is, look, and I don't want this to be an excuse, Paul Winstanley definitely had a lot of things to look at from the men's side of things, because the women's team was very stable. They were winning things. The culture was great. The morale was great. The manager was fantastic. So you didn't really need to spend too much time. The men's team was a mess, and Paul Winstanley definitely had to spend a lot of time. Look, I'm not siding on Paul Winstanley here. Look, I'm a little bit skeptical about our board at the moment in terms of Winstanley, in terms of Lawrence Stewart and whoever else is involved, right? I'm a little bit skeptical with the players that have come in. Hindsight looks like we've brought in too many young, immature sort of kids. Really, we need some sort of balance in the team with a lot more maturity. But look, I feel like the online, especially these journalists, whenever they can, as Rob said, whenever they can spin up a negative story and then create a bit of a chaos in social media and a bit of uproar in the fan base, they will take the opportunity to do that. But I tend to side with Rob over here that, really, is this what's going on? And Rob goes on to say, I'm not going to get into the true or not true or play silly games, but it's telling this is an easy piece around someone who has been criticized before, that the club are not openly going to confirm or deny, as it is a waste of time. Don't give them the fuel to start a needless fire. I absolutely agree that I think the journalists are just taking this opportunity to spin up a negative story, knowing that the fan base was a little bit critical about Paul Winstanley anyway. So this is perfect opportunity for them to do this. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section what you think about this. Look, for me, I tend to think that Emma Hayes got a better opportunity with the US women's team, and she just simply took that up. As great as it would have been to stay with Chelsea Football Club, I think to say no to US women's team would have been quite ludicrous, to be honest. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Union, actually it's pronounced Union. Before Union Berlin's UCL game tonight, they had lost 12 consecutive games. And guess who has helped them snap that particular streak? It is none other than David Datro Fofana. That run has now ended after they secured a draw away to Napoli. David Datro Fofana, 20, also with his first goal for Union, who is on loan from Chelsea. It was a really, really nice counter-attack. Long ball from defense and fell to David Datro Fofana, who used his pace brilliantly, then passed it to his striker partner, who then took a really, really magnificent shot, but it was parried by the goalkeeper onto David Datro Fofana, and David Datro Fofana had a really, really good finish from there on. Overall, I actually watched this game. He had a very good game, you know, his burst of pace, ability to link up with his other striker. Obviously, Napoli dominated as much as they could with the ball, but Union Berlin had their fair amount of chances as well. And David Datro Fofana definitely was instrumental to drive the ball forward for them and then start new attacking phase. And it was good to see. It was good to see. And on top of that, with the adversities that David Datro Fofana has had in recent times, with him not shaking the manager's hand a couple of match weeks ago, actually last match week in the Champions League, when they lost against Napoli. Off the back of that, he got suspended, and the manager had a few things to say as well, that he's been finding it a bit difficult, David Datro Fofana. But kudos to David Datro Fofana to keep working hard. And the manager, kudos to him as well, the Union manager. He seems to be, starting David Datro Fofana quite often now, straight after that particular suspension. I don't think David Datro Fofana has missed a match starting. He's been starting the last few matches for Union Berlin, and he's actually said it's easy to select someone like David Datro Fofana because he's been training well. So kudos to David Datro Fofana to be able to do that. And look, overall, I think the skill set is there for this guy to be a very exciting striker. I just don't know if he's going to crack it into the Chelsea team. We'll see what happens next season. I just feel like maybe he's one of those profit players where Chelsea are just going to double up on their investment from what they bought him for, something around 15 or 17 million pounds. They could potentially probably sell him for about 30, 35 million. We'll see what happens. This is the first goal he's scored for Union Berlin this season. And it comes in the Champions League as well. So it's fantastic to see. And it breaks that 12-run losing streak of Union Berlin. So hopefully from here on in, David Datro Fofana can go on and have a stellar season, man. Union Berlin needs it as well. And he seems like he's trying his level best to get the team back onto winning terms. So good to see. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about everything we spoke about, especially the Nkunku news, in the comment section. Let me know. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.